G'day guys, welcome back. I am going to be doing a colour and chat tonight with Johanna's Christmas, a page I've been working on in this. But before I do that, I thought I would update you with the Advent colour along. Now I did start off by doing some daily or, every second day kind of videos with it. But it was time consuming and there was a million out on YouTube already, and I figured there's no real point. I was under the pump trying to get them videoed and put up with work and all of that kind of stuff. So I went, no, I'm just going to give you an update. So this is the one from the cutesy Christmas special from Colouring Heaven by Rosa Now, someone did try and tell me the other day how to say it, but I completely forgot. So this is what I have been doing now. In this, I have been using the Shapir Farbens. So that is the pencils I've been using. I only got them a few weeks ago, so I thought it was a good excuse to just get in and play with them. So going for a vignette kind of look on each one of the little calendar days. And yeah, so this is where I'm up to so far, up to day 12. And pretty cool. So that's that one that I've been working on. And then the other one that I have been doing, along with most other people, is the Johanna Basford Inky Advent Calendar. Now, this one I'm not taking as seriously. I'm just having fun with this one. I'm using a different medium for each one. So number 1 was DeWint Studio pencils. Number 2 was Cheap Kids crayons. Number 3 was just kids textures or markers. Number 4 was watercolor pencils. Number 5 was glitter gel pens. Number 6 was Black Widow pencils. Number 7 was glitter marker pens. Number 8 was metallic gel pencils. Number 9, where are you, number 9? Number 9 was Shapir Farbens. Number 10 was alcohol markers. Number 11 was Ohuhu water-based brush pen markers, felt tips. And number 12 was pastel pencils. So I'm just having fun, using all of the different products that you've got laying about and just having a bit of, fun, I guess, with that. I'm not taking it seriously. I'm not expecting it to look like, the most brilliantly coloured page in the entire world. I just having fun with it. It gets me to try something different every day, which has been good because I have been working on a whip that is taking quite a while. So it's in Within Worlds, and I'll show you where I'm up to with it. And let me know if you want me to do, I figured, I'll show you when I open the page, finding it's the one, however. So I've been doing this, which is the Japanese dragon. Now, what I thought I might do is I've nearly finished with this page, and I thought if you're interested, I'll do a kind of colour and chat working on components of this page that go with that, so you can kind of see how it is without having to sit through the entire page being coloured. So that was my plan. Let me know if you'd be interested, and I can certainly sit down and do different parts of it, like the scales, the flames, the smoke, the torii gates, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, so that's in amongst having, that little inky advent calendar. This has been a work in progress, and it is taking up a vast majority of my time, along with other things, which I'll talk about when we start the colour and chat. Now, this is what I thought we might work on tonight. Well, it's tonight for me. So this is Johanna's Christmas, as you would have seen. This is the Nutcrackers. Now, the joys of it all, my cat decided to join me with her dirty paw prints. And I was trying to decide if I was going to do a background, and kind of it's been decided for me. And now I've got to think about what kind of background I'm going to do. But while we start talking, I'm going to start colouring. So you can see here, I've just gone and put little colour markings in here, just so I don't get lost. I find that that's easier for me as I've been working through these other guys. I've been doing the same thing just so I know where I'm planning when I'm colouring. And I've only used 17 pencils in this entire thing. And that was kind of the whole idea, is to keep it as simple of a colour palette as possible. And I think I'm going to try and continue that even with the background. I'm not sure. I had a couple of ideas for the background. I'm going to get started. All right, so I'm working, I think I said I'm working with Black Widows. I've just hit the camera. That's always good. All right, let's go in with the boots. So I'm going to go in with some light grey. So the light grey is from the Monarch. I'm just going softly putting this around just as a base coat as we work through it. So some ideas for the background. I was thinking, part of me was thinking to have them in the snow and have like a, you know, like kind of snow falling in the background kind of look. And then another one was to put them on little stands and have them on a shelf and have them kind of in front of like a faded out Christmas tree. I don't know. So let me know what you think I should do with a background, or any suggestions you think I could do, because it's going to need a background. I had planned to do a background anyway, but the cat foil prints have definitely made it more of a necessity rather than a maybe if I was too lazy not to bother. I'm just going to go into the belt and do that at the same time as I'm doing the boots. And that way it's done. Okay, so I've got light grey there. I'm going to go in with coal, which is from the Monarch. And I'm just going to start building the boots up. I'm working in little tiny circles, light layers, trying to leave a bit of a spot for a highlight, as you can see with the other boots. Yeah, so background. Don't know. I'm like, I just have no idea. Do I just do like, you know, a simple brick wall background, or I don't know what to do. Or just a soft pastel background and be, you know, super easy. I don't know. Part of me is thinking on the shelf with the faded out Christmas tree in the background would look pretty cool, but would take a bit of time. So that's what I'm planning for this page. So this is one of the pages I picked for the Christmas scavenger hunt, kind of, you know, colour along, get a bit of an idea of a plan of attack for your Christmas pages. Will I get them all done? Not a chance. Because me, I am an idiot, and I'm sitting there. I started my school holidays, my summer holidays last Thursday. So what is it? It's Monday night tonight that I'm filming this. So I started holidays last Thursday, and lo and behold, Thursday I buy a car. Now I don't buy a new car, I buy an old car, and there's a story that goes with the old car that I've bought. So I bought a, if you're Australian, you'll know straight away what I'm talking about, but I bought a Holden Commodore Ute. Now this has been my dream car since I was a teenager in the 90s. You know, that was the car to get, well, your boyfriend to have, right? Back then, I'd be like, yeah, my boyfriend's got a Commodore. Yeah, look at me. And I'm from country Queensland, so I'm like, yeah, I've got a Ute, baby. So, it's always been my dream car to have. And I used to work in a car yard, and I'd detail them all the time. And I was lucky enough one time to be asked to drive one down to the city from the car yard. Oh, best day ever. I still remember it. I still remember driving that Ute thinking I was just all that. And so the opportunity come up for me to buy one of these utes. Now, it's a 20-year-old, well, no, how old is it? 18-year-old car, ute. But the story that comes with it is, you know, only I would buy this car. Let's get real. So my friends owned it, and they'd bought it a few months ago. So the engine's in good nick and stuff. It passed roadworthy only a few months ago, all that kind of stuff. The story is, it's just one of those stories of like, did you just say what I think you just said? So they had a fire in the cabin, okay? So in the cab of the ute. Now, how the fire started, however, is absolutely, you just go, how? So I'm going in with black now, sorry. So this is just one of the blacks. This is Black Widow from the Black Widow. How did the fire start? So my friends own a restaurant, and they had finished for the day and cafe, and they had she'd gone to the laundromat to wash the towels, the microfiber tea towels, and so put them in, you know, put them in the dryer, went off, did some things, come back, picked them up from the laundromat, put them in a milk crate, as you do, microfiber towels in the milk crate, put them in the car, left them in the ute for the next day when you go to work. Now, this was during a heat wave that we had, so we were getting up to 37 degrees Celsius days, which I think is around the 100 degree Fahrenheit mark. So it was pretty hot. And, you know, scientifically, it happening is obviously a possibility, and it did happen, but you just sit there and think, really? So the static electricity within the microfiber tea towels coming from the dryer, okay, residual heat from the dryer, then alongside with the built-up heat within the cab from the weather, caused spontaneous combustion. So my friend woke up in the morning to go to work, you know, 6 o'clock in the morning, go out to the ute, and she's smoking. And now, luckily, with like polyester burning, it doesn't flame burn, it smolder burns. So it had just smoldered, the milk crate had melted, and it had, you know, burnt out the seat and completely smoked out the car. Like, the car was white on the inside, and she don't smell good at all. You couldn't see out the windscreen. All the glass had blown out, all the perspex had blown out. She was just an absolute mess. So they're caught in that place of, you know, they'd only bought it as a second car. It's only third party insured, all that kind of stuff. And they're in the position, they don't have the time of, do they just sell it cheap, get rid of it, or do they invest in getting it professionally detailed and getting new seat and all of that kind of stuff. And, you know, they accept it. They just don't. They theoretically and realistically don't have the time to do the work, or the inclination, you know. And so they were like, yeah, let's just admit defeat. And I'm an idiot. And so I went, hey, I'll buy it. One of my kids has just turned 16, getting a learner, so second car would be good when she finally gets a license and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, the bogan in me is like, yeah, I want the ute. And so I bought it. And I've spent, so my nails, if you're looking at my hands going, oh my God, those hands are disgusting. Yes, they are. I've spent the last 3-4 days cleaning that cab out. I have stripped it completely. I've taken out all the seats, all the dash, all the paneling. Just been scrubbing and all of that kind of stuff just to get it back to black, so that all of the panel work and all the stuff, the vinyl is all black. So I've got it all back. The smell is still there. I've cleaned the carpets and things like that, but the smell is impacted. So I've gone online and found an industrial strength odor neutralizer. So that's on its way to me. Fingers crossed that does the trick, because she looks great inside now. So all black trim, and I've gone and got seat cover. So I went and got a new seat. Well, not a new seat. I went and got a seat from the Wreckers and installed a seat into the passenger to replace the one that was burnt out. And a few other things that it was just easier to replace them. So I've done all that. And yeah, she looks great. And you know, the seat covers have got like red trim, you know, black and red. I'm like, oh, yeah. So it's just absolutely amazing. And I'm like, well, now I've got to, so I'm just going back in with the light grey. So that's been my project. We've got wet weather at the moment, so I haven't been able to get out and wash her and wax her, but that's the next stage, get the outside, redo the chrome trim, all of that kind of stuff. Got some paint restorer and wax that will work to bring back the paint, hopefully make her all nice and schmick and shiny. And I'm gonna get, I don't know, I'm thinking of getting, my friends have got, a couple of my friends have got cry cuts, or what are they called, crickets, and thinking of getting them to make a couple of girly vinyls for me so that it looks like a girl's ute, that I'm not driving my boyfriend's and my husband's ute, or my kid's not driving her boyfriend's ute. We're driving our own. Okay? It's a girl's car. So thinking of getting, you know, a ladybug or something to put on it of some sort, sticks with it, something like that, that will do that. I've got Latin quote is one of my tattoos on my foot that says "Alas for lat proprius," which is she flies with her own wings. I'm thinking of maybe getting that, putting that across with a feather and a ladybug, something like that, something that very subtly, well, not so subtly, says this is a girl's car, piss off. Oh, I didn't say that out loud. Shh. Oh, that's right, it's adult channel. If you're under 18, don't watch. I'm usually pretty good with my language, but I'm on holidays, so I'm not in teacher mode. So I'm not thinking as, you know, I don't think as well teacher-wise as, and I think working with Cara has like fully just reverted me back to, yeah, Bogan. And I'm like, yeah. So that was one thing that I've been doing, which is quite exciting. You know, I took it out, and I cleaned the windscreen enough to be able to take it out to my dad's. It was quite funny, the perspex in the dash mount for the speedo and things like that had blown out, so I couldn't even see what I was doing or what speed I was driving at. Been going out to dad's, but I just wanted for him to have a look at it. Come back in with black now with the belt, and he's like, nah, don't buy it, it's just too much work, you know, you'll never get it back, all that kind of stuff, you're crazy, blah blah blah, gotta pay rego, insurance, all that kind of stuff. And he's like, think with your head. And then I texted him back and I'm like, too late, thought with my heart, got it. And then and I'm like, let's just be on the wild side, Dad. Let's just have fun. Let's make it a project and have a bit of fun. And so then he, you know, the next day he's texting me like parts that he'd found online and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I thought so. Thought you'd enjoy this, Dad. So he's been doing that. But I think he's a bit disappointed by how much I did myself when I took it out to see him yesterday and I drove it in. I think he was like, have you done that much on your own? And I'm like, yeah. And I think part of him was slightly disappointed that, and slightly, you know, and also quite proud that his little girl, had done as much as she had done. Okay, so we're going to go in with the green and do some of the green components now. So we've got Grub Green from the Scorpion set. I'm just going to go over lightly where I've got all the green. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, so I think he was a bit more impressed with it yesterday when he saw it actually cleaned up and all of that kind of stuff. So he's coming around in the morning just to tinker with it a little bit and do a couple little things that I couldn't quite do on my own. I just needed another set of hands to be able to do. So he's coming around there, and we'll do that. We'll probably go to the wreckers and get another couple of little parts. I didn't have a spare tyre. When I contacted my friend to see if she had the spare tyre, she's like, I wouldn't even know where the spare tyre goes. And I'm like, that's okay, I do. It wasn't there, so it's under the tray. So I'll go to the wreckers and get a spare tyre, because I don't want to drive on the highway or anything until I have a spare tyre on it. I like to drive safe. I always like to be prepared. Which then brings me to my other travesty of story. So that's a really good day, right? Like, that's a really good story. Been having fun. Nice project. Been really getting in and literally getting my hands dirty. Like, my hands, I don't even want to think about how what's underneath my nails and how badly they smell. I think the smell of smoke and burnt plastic is going to be embedded in my hair and under my nails for a while to come. But on Saturday, Saturday, I had to take Georgia down to Brisbane. So that's about 3 hours drive south from here, because she needed to catch a flight to go see her dad. And she flies unaccompanied. They still aren't doing unaccompanied flights from my area due to COVID. I think that's just the excuse that they're using not to do it. But, there's no COVID cases in Australia at the moment. So, but anyway, couldn't do it. So I've got to drive down to there. So that was fine. So went down with the girls, and my best friend come along as well. And went down and did a bit of shopping first. Oh my God, the people. There's a reason why I shop early and shop online. Like, I've got all my presents wrapped. They're underneath the tree. I'm prepared for Christmas. I usually start getting prepared in October, start thinking about presents and getting them through. Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you the pencil colour. This is opal green from the Cobra set. Cobra set. And so so we did that, and we went to the shopping centre. That was like people, and I'm not a people person at the best of times, and especially in holiday mode. I'm like, I don't want to people at all, and it was just insane. And I'm like, yep. So that was all good. And then we go out to the car. Honestly, I'm just like, some days I sit there and wonder, like, car. I don't know. But anyway, so I go out to the car park to go. We go. And my car's not ticking over. And I'm like, what? What's going on? And I'm like, we just drove 3 hours. The battery couldn't be flat within a couple of hours. We're only in the shopping centre for a couple of hours. And I'm like, even with the lights on, it still shouldn't have flattened the battery at that time. But I'm like, that car's about 3 years old. Maybe my battery, whatever. So because I travel all the time by myself, with the kids, or by myself on the highway, I have all of the equipment in the car to do basic repairs and stuff. So I've got a little jump start kit. So I pull that out, and I jump start the car. That was fine. The bloke in the car park was just impressed by my little kit. I'm like, oh yeah, I've got everything in the boot. I've got tools. I've got enough to do all the basics. So I could fix a tyre, pump it up, water. I've got basic tools, that kind of stuff, duct tape, zip ties, whatever might come in handy to do basic repairs. So that was, now I'm going to ignore this line. I think it was an error, not rubbed out in my mind. So I'm just going to ignore that it exists, to be honest. And I'm just going to try and colour over it so that it's not so obvious. Well, that's my plan anyway. So that was the car park. So we jump started. I'm like, cool, I've got half an hour drive. So we're going with green grass from Scorpion. I've got a half an hour drive to the airport from the shopping centre. We should be fine. That'll charge up the battery. Awesome. You know, that if something had been done, we'd check the lights, that nothing had been left on. I have an automatic, everything's automatic in my car, so I'm like, weird that anything was going anyway. So that's all good. Get to the shopping centre, to the airport car park. Turn off the car and it's like, oh, I forgot to put my windows up. Go to start it, car wouldn't start. I'm like, oh crap. So I jump started her again with this little battery pack thing. She jump starts fine. I'm like, cool, all right. And, you know, I just need to get Georgia off on the plane and then I'll worry about, get it started, get home, and then I'll worry about it tomorrow kind of thing. Sunday, Monday, what's wrong with the car? So that's okay, got the windows up, go into the shopping centre and into the airport. Yep, no worries. Georgia goes, all good. By now also on top of this, you've got to understand, yeah, right. Before we get to that part. So I rung, yeah, no, that's after. I'm trying to keep my line of events. Okay. So behind all of this, I've also just quit smoking. So on Saturday when all of this was occurring, I was on to my 3rd day without a cigarette. So, you know, I'm pretty much willing to kill anyone at this point in time. I just, cold turkey, no cigarette. No cigarettes, and I'm like, rightio. So I'm like, you know, snappy, frustrated, cranky, because I just dealt with thousands of people at a shopping centre and then all of that. And so by the time I got to the airport, I was like literally snapping at the girls and everybody for existing. I should be like, you know, George is leaving, should be, you know, saying goodbye, blah, 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 love her. And all I wanted to do was kill everyone. But anyway, so we got Georgia off okay. So she's off on a, you know, up to see her dad. It's awesome. And leave the airport, go out to the car, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm just going to have to jump start her. It'll be fine. We'll get home. No worries. Yep, didn't even jump start. Nothing's happened. Nothing's ticking over. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, okay. So I ring my dad. He doesn't answer. I'm like, oh, crap. And I'm like, it's a new car. It's got this roadside assist. Now, because it had roadside assist, I'm like, well, I'm not paying for RACQ. I'll just, it's got roadside assist. Why pay for 2? So I had cancelled my RACQ membership when I had gotten the car, you know, all of that. And I'm like, got to go in with black now just to deepen up some of the shadows. So I ring this number for this roadside assist. Yep. What they can do is, unless it's something like jumpstart a car, which obviously isn't working, all they can do is organise a tow truck to within 20 kilometres to your nearest mechanic. Now, mind you, I'm 3 hours away from my hometown, and I'm like, this poor young fella, I'm usually quite reasonable and polite on a phone, but remembering this is 3 days into me giving up smoking, no excuse, but I wasn't very nice. And I may have, you know, I lost my poo bum and was just like, this is ridiculous. It says roadside assist, but it's not. And I didn't have, you know, proper roadside assist because I'd given up RACQ, and I was just like, I was not happy. And I'm like, what am I going to do? And he's like, do you want me to organise a tow truck? And I went, what for? Where am I supposed to take it? I said, I'm not from here. I know nothing about where to go or what to do. And you know, and so I may have told him in a couple of words that, you know, we definitely won't repeat on this channel what to go do with himself, and hung up and then regretted it after, because I'm like, what am I going to do? But thank whoever, whatever, my best friend has ultimate RACQ care, so it doesn't matter what car she's in, she's covered. So she rings RACQ and they can come and do my car because she is in my car. And I'm like, it was just, I'm like, it was incredible. So I'm going back in with opal green now, just over some of this black. And what's even better is usually waiting for RSEQ, you're waiting for like 5 million hours. You know, I'm thinking I'm going to stuck in an airport car park where I've got to pay like $30 an hour just to be there. And, but they were in 20 minutes and they were there. He was awesome. And it was just the battery. It had just completely died. He replaced the battery, you know, a few $100s later, but it was done. At this point in time, I'm like, I said to him, I would have pretty much paid nearly anything to get going. So that was all good. So we were all done and paid for, and then off we went. And I'm legit just like, really? Is this my life? And then to give you some idea of my character, you know, you've got to laugh at life, honestly. Like, there's worse things can happen in people's lives, and that is not the worst thing, you know. It's just a funny story. We come out of it okay, on the road, everything's fine, everyone's safe. And so we go to Costco on the way out, and I'm just like, I'd had enough by then. My friend had grabbed the trolley. And, you know, Costco trolleys are ridiculous. And I was like, my feet hurt. It's been a long day. So I just plopped in the trolley. And I said, drive me in. And she's like, they're not going to let us in like this. And I had my feet hanging over the edge. My 16-year-old's just looking at me like, are you really? Am I really with you right now? Just sharpening this pencil. And I've got my feet hanging over the edge in the trolley. So my friend just wheels me on in, and I've just got to laugh. The people at the front just nod, smile, go hello, and just let us on in. Didn't even bat an eyelid. And my friend's like, how did that happen? And my 16-year-old, she's like, if we were a bunch of teenagers doing that, that wouldn't have been allowed. And I went, that's because I actually look like a respectable woman. I said, I'm just in a trolley being an idiot. I said, but, you know, I don't look like, well, definitely don't look like a teenager, but I just look like an adult being stupid. And they just let me slide. So got into Costco, got a few looks. Then I realised I probably should get out so I can fill it up with stuff. And, you know, just trying to relieve the absolute stress of just the events of the day. What I needed to just put myself back in that, because I like to live that positive, fun, you know, just laugh at life kind of thing. Otherwise you cry kind of thing. So we've done that, and yeah, so it was good. All right, I'm going to go back in with the lighter screen now, which is the grub green. I'm just going to bring it all together. Yeah, so that was my sad day. And I'm like, oh, I got it. You just got to. Okay, yeah. So I was like, okay. Now, you know, I'd planned to be home not too late. Well, I was obviously home later than thing. But then I'm like, I'm on holidays. It doesn't really matter. There was no reason that we had to be home at a set hour. I'm just one of those people that, like, you know, live by a schedule and like to know exactly where I am at what time kind of thing. And I'm like, just accept that you'll get there when you get there. And that was cool. Oh, yeah, so we got home Saturday night, and I was like, you know, Casper was like behaving like the world had ended because he hadn't been fed at, you know, 6 o'clock like normally. He had to wait a couple of hours longer. The world was, you know, his life was just, no, so hard for the puppy. So, but yeah, so that was my Saturday. And I'm just like, yep, what a story. But that's okay. All right, so we're done with the green, I think. Actually, I'm just going to go in. I'm going to go in with a little bit more of the green grass. It's a bit too light down here. I don't want it that light. Okay. All right, we're going to get into the reds now. So the base colour I'm using is Saffron from the Skin Light set. Yeah, so that was it. So my holidays have started off interesting, is I guess the word for my holidays. I think I've worked harder in the last few days on the car than I have the last couple of weeks at work, because we're winding down the school year, kind of when seniors and all go from the school and things, you get to wind down a little bit. So I've been smashing out the work. I've been up like 4 or 5 in the morning because my brain's still telling me I'm at work. So I've been up at 4 or 5 in the morning. I'm down at the car, but as soon as sun lights up, so that's about 4:35. Been down at the car starting. By the time the girls gotten up, I'd been at it for hours, and they'd come down, they'd be like, whoa, what have you done? And I'd be like, yeah, I've been busy. Okay. But now, hopefully that I've still got the, like I said, the washing and waxing of the car, but we've got thunderstorms and rain at the moment, so I can't do that until it clears up. I don't have anything to do. Going to head up to see my brother and sister-in-law, my nieces and nephews on probably Wednesday, up north, up about an hour or so north from where I'm at. They're up there on holiday, so I'll probably drive up there to say hello, just for a visit. Haven't seen them for a few months, so be good to catch up with them. We'll head up there, and then I'm just trying to figure out if I've got all the red spots. I think so. Okay. Next colour I'm going to go in with is with my dark colour, which is Blood Red from the Scorpion. So yes, I'm going to drive up there to see them probably on Wednesday or so. But I've got to keep telling myself, I've got, nearly 6 weeks of holiday. I planned it to not have much to do. I'm just not a person that sits and does nothing well. I like having something to actively keep in mind. And especially now that I'm trying not to smoke, I've got to figure out something to keep me from fidgeting and I've got to do something, because if I'm sitting there doing nothing, I'm just, that's all my mind thinks about is going and having a cigarette. So I'm like, I need something, and I'll end up rearranging my closet and doing all of that kind of stuff and some housework and things. What's good about getting the ute is I really needed to do a dump run. And I can. So much easier now than trying to get it all into the SUV and putting all the seats down and shoving it all in the back of the SUV. I'm like, yeah, got the ute now. Just throw it back in the tray and off I go to the dump. So probably might do a dump run tomorrow. I think my dad's coming around, like I said, tomorrow to do... I always freak out that I'm not filming, especially once I've been talking for a while. So, yeah, he's coming around tomorrow to tinker on a few things with me. Like I said, and we'll probably go to the Wreckers, get the spare tyre, do all of that, depending on how wet it is. That's why I didn't go to the Wreckers today, because I'm like, I don't want to go out in the middle of the rain and try and take a tyre off a car and all of that while it's wet. And, I don't mind getting dirty at the best of times, but I'm like, yeah, if I don't have to, I'm not doing it. I might stay clean today. So that was, had a shower this morning and actually was like, you know what, I'm actually going to stay clean and not smelly today. That's kind of where I'm going to go for. So that was my plan today. I just went up to the car shop, got a couple of items like car mats and things for the car, and some chrome paint so I can fix up some of the chrome work. and stuff like that. And that was about it for today. And then I've just kind of sat around and I've started on doing a little bit of colouring in. It's nice to actually sit and do that. Except for the cat deciding to join me because, you know, George is up at her dad's. So Storm is George's cat. And all of a sudden George is not here and the cat's like, well, what do I do? She's not here. And she, you know, Storm tends to ignore us the rest of the time. If George is around, then it's just all about Georgia, which is fair enough because, you know, that's Storm's George's and everything like that. But she's kind of like, well, I don't have any option but to deal with you. You'll have to do. So I've had her around me all day. Oh, there goes Tip. So this is, sorry, Ladybug, my favourite colour in the whole world. Ladybug red. No surprise there. Ladybug's best, my favourite animal. So, favourite insect, if you want to be specific. So, yeah, so, she's been hanging around all day, so I've got cat hair everywhere instead of dog hair for a change. And, of course, while I've been trying to colour, she's been trying to sit on my colouring because, you know, that's where you go. Wherever I think I'm going to be most annoying and, you know, irritate you is where I'm going to go. So I've got some photos of her. I said to Georgia of her literally sitting on this book. Just be like, yeah, you're not colouring. I'm like trying to move the book out like underneath her to try and get her keep colouring. She's just like, yeah, no. Which is kind of cute. You know, she is a cute cat when she wants to be nice. Generally, she's not nice to me. Probably because the dog's always with me and she's just like, well, dog's yours. I'm going to stick with Georgia because the dog doesn't go anywhere near her. Not that the dog and the cat dislike each other. They tolerate each other's existence, but they're certainly not best friends. So it's been quite funny. And then the dog, Thunderstorm, and my, you know, 40-kilo lab is petrified, of course, of the thunder. So he's just been like underneath the bed. Any further he can get underneath there, that's where he's going to try. That's where he's been hanging out. So what else has been happening? I don't know. I'm trying to think of other stories. Oh, yeah. So it was one of my kids' 16th birthday on Thursday as well, which is quite funny that I bought the car on that day. I had to keep reminding her that it wasn't her car, but, you know, the intention is obviously for her to use it. My car with her having driving rights. I think that's a fair enough way to put it. But it was awesome for her birthday. I got, so she's with, you know, COVID and things like that and all of that. So I couldn't do too much travel-wise because I like to travel. But I did promise her, did it coloured in a, like, gift coupon from Johanna, coloured that all in and wrote on there that take her to Melbourne for 2021. So probably in winter in Melbourne, just so the girls can experience a full-on, you know, completely different winter to the winter we have up north here in Queensland. I thought we'll take you down to Melbourne in the middle of winter and go on a bit of a shopping spree and have a bit of fun. So I had that as a gift coupon and I bought her a luggage set. So she's opening up this like suitcase and she's like, okay. And then I went, you got to keep going. And inside the big suitcase was obviously overnight bags. And I went, keep going. And in that I had all the presents wrapped. So I got her a 120 set of gel pens. I missed down here. So I'm just back in with the Ladybug down here. So I got 120 set of gel pens with refills. I'll show that in my end of month haul. And what else did I get her? Oh, my mum got a like earring and necklace set. What else? Oh, I got her a colouring book. I'll show that in the end of the month haul too. However, we'll have to turn the pages carefully for that one, because it is a definitely an adult colouring book with swear words to express how one may feel whilst colouring. There were some interesting words in there, ones I'd never even heard of, and I was like, okay. So I got that as a bit of a joke for her, which is quite funny. Just going to go in with black, if I can find it, just to work on some shadowing. Oh, I forgot this red panel. All right, I have to go back into that. So yeah, so hopefully she enjoyed that present. And then I think when I got the car, and then when she realised what the car looks like, she's just like, yeah. And I went, yeah. I said, you tell those boys they don't know. They all think they're tough. You got a tough car. And it's not having no boyfriend driving around a car like that. You drive yourself around in that car. And it is P-plater friendly and loaner plate friendly. Like it's a V6, but it's not like supercharged or anything like that. So it is definitely appropriate for her to drive. I'm just going back in with Ladybug now and just re-going over everything. Yeah, so it's been a touch wood. Apart from my sad day, like I said, worse things could definitely happen. It's not the worst thing in the world. There's lots of people struggling with a lot more than that. But it's been a fairly good start to the holiday. Hope it continues. I get Georgia back Christmas Eve, so I've got to go back to Brisbane Christmas Eve. There will be no shopping Christmas Eve. There is no way you would get me in a shopping centre on Christmas Eve. I think I would, no, just no. My anxiety would not cope with that in any way, shape or form. No. So, be straight to the airport and home. So 3 hours down, 3 hours back. That's right. Did I colour over this? I can't remember. Yeah, so that's the, I think so. She comes back Christmas Eve. So we'll be back home by just after dinner Christmas Eve. So it means, no dramas getting up Christmas Day. Don't have anything hugely planned for Christmas Day. Nice quiet one this year. Going to go out to my dad's. My stepsister is, I think, coming up to my dad's to visit for Christmas. So I'll see them. But other than that, nothing too crazy. Probably lunch out there, be home pretty early. Yeah, I'm just thinking, I don't think, I think one of my girls go see her sister during the day sometime, maybe on the way out to my dad's. But we don't have huge plans. I usually have my best friend over for Christmas Eve dinner, but with having to get Georgia and her kids are working and things like that, I don't it's just it's not practical. So it'd probably be more like I might have them around for New Year's or something, dinner instead of Christmas Eve dinner. It's just become a bit of a tradition since I've moved here that we do that every Christmas. So I will, so I'm going in with Ladybug now. Let's probably do that. But yeah, Christmas itself's not going to be anything too crazy, which is okay. The last few years have been full on. One stage I had, 4 kids in the house. And that's awesome. That's when it's Christmas. And I had the 4 kids in the house, and then I decided to host Christmas. And when I decide to host, as much as I don't like people, I take it to extreme. And, it was a big thing. Everything, I had made individual cups, painted cups for everyone, and we had games for all the kids and all that kind of stuff. And it was an awesome day, but that was a couple of years ago, and I think I'm still tired from it. So, I'm like, yeah. So it's a nice quiet Christmas. I kept saying to the girls, because I usually tend to, birthdays are more of a big thing than Christmas. But George has got to get an iPad for school. So she's getting the iPad, and I said, well, you're not getting anything else. What did I do with that? There we go. So it's the saffron. I said, well, you're not getting anything else, But of course she's going to get stuff. So, but I'm just being like, I'll just get little things. And I don't know how it's happened. Be like, I'll just get this something little, and I'll just get something little here. And then if I get one for one, I get one for the other. And, teenage girls are all like the same thing. And I'm like, and then I'll be buying myself Christmas presents too. I bought myself some great Christmas presents, including a car. And they've just been stacking up underneath the Christmas tree. And so I get them and I wrap them and I put them out there. And I'm just like, how did this happen? No, I'm not getting anything big for Christmas, turn into 5 million presents underneath the tree. And I still haven't wrapped everyone else's presents. All that's under there is the girls' presents, and they've just finished wrapping mine. So our presents only. And the tree is like bulging underneath. And I'm like, how did that happen? And then I know I've still got parcels coming, and I'm like, what did I do? All right, so we're going to get onto the gold. Going in with milk from the Monarch. So I'm just going to put that down as a base layer. Yeah, so I'm like, what did I do? How did this happen? And 3 parcels arrived today, so I've still got parcels coming. I'm like, what? What have I done? I'm like, radio. Only me. So yes, they're going to be spoiled. And then George's birthday's in the end of January. I'm like, oh my God. It just never ends. It's kind of like, yeah, but Georgia goes on camp once she gets back from visiting her dad. Going in with gold from the Cobra set. So she's gets back, has Christmas Eve here, and then, oh, there goes another tip. Of course it does. She has Boxing Day here, so Christmas Eve, Christmas, Boxing Day, and then she goes to camp the day after, and she's at summer camp until New Year's Day. So I think it's quiet without her here. We're all all quite introverted in this house, but it still gets kind of quiet when we're all just hanging in our rooms or doing our own thing. It's like, by the end of a couple of weeks, her absence is definitely going to be felt by all in the house, not just the cat. What colour should I do his wings? Let's go gold. Yeah, so definitely be noting her absence. You know, she's been going to her dad since she was a baby, so I'm used to her not being here and there. But you still notice it. But I'm lucky. I get to spend the majority of my time with her, so I really enjoy, you know, it's very important for her, whatever time she gets to spend with her dad. So I'm going in now with olive gold, which is skin dark. So yeah, so whatever time she gets to go spend with her father is very important. They love each other dearly. She always gets very well spoiled when she goes with her dad, as it should be. I love my dad and he loves me too. And daddy's little girl. Doesn't matter how old you get, you're still always your daddy's little girl. His fiance is having a baby in February, so George is going to have a new little sibling. So that'll be exciting for her. So when she goes up next school holidays, there'll be a little baby in the house, which will be lovely for her. Nearly done. Slowly getting there. It's like you sit there and go, oh, I don't have much to do. But it does get, when you put all the bits together, it kind of gets time consuming. What am we up to now? Up to an hour. So there's not much that much more to go. I probably won't go on for too much longer. I think you've kind of got the gist of what I'm doing. I just wanted to have chat, catch up with life, what's been going on, my crazy adventures, silly things I've done, you know, buying a car, getting trapped in a carport, yeah, all those kind of fun things. What else? Let's go in and finish off this gold so you see how I do that. It's mostly all the colours that I've used. Everything else is just a mixture of them. These are our main colours. Mahogany. I'm going to go in and start building up some of the shadow of the gold now. So what do you guys got planned for Christmas? Are you guys having a big one or a quiet one? I know for a lot of people in different parts of the world, it's a forced quiet one. We're lucky we can have our members of our family and all here. It's just, I thought about going up north to my mum. It's too hot up there. And I'm like, I'm tired. It's been, even though this year, like, you know, yes, it's been full on, but then it also hasn't. But I'm just tired. I think in general, everyone's kind of just tired. Yeah. I think more than anything. And I'm like, you know what, I just don't want to. I don't want to drive. You know, it's a 12-hour drive up there. And I'm like, no. And I go up there and I have to spend it all in aircon because you can't exist in the humidity and the heat any other way. So I'm like, no, I didn't want to do it. So I was like, no, I'm not coming. And she understands that. I only saw her. She was only down here visiting me a few weeks ago. So it's not like it's been a long time since I've seen her. And I went up there in September holidays. So, you know, it's not the end of the earth kind of thing that I haven't gotten up to see her. Alright, and then the last colour I'm going to go in with is Huntsman from the Black Widow set. And this is just where I'm going to do the real shadow component. But just in those areas where I really want the shadow work to show up. It's just in there, probably in here, underneath these hands and braces. And these cuffs, definitely underneath here. Yeah, so what kind of traditions do you guys have for Christmas? I got a feeling we might end up in my dad's dam. It's probably going to be hot. Swimming in the dam. All right, I'm going to go back in with gold and just go over everything, meld it all together. But I don't think it'll be a big food festival this year. Probably just get some seafood, some salad. I think that'll be it. I don't think it might even just be a barbecue. Depends what Dad and them all decide on. But it won't be anything too crazy. Usually at Dad's it's just salads, barbie, and some seafood, which works good for me. Just give me a few prawns and bugs and I'll be happy with that. Throw a few oysters in, I'll be even happier. I'll be like, yep, I'm done. Don't worry about anything else. I don't have time for that. Let's just get on to the good stuff. Can eat salad another day. Alright, so I'm just going over with that milk now, just for the highlights. And doing the last little burnishing of it all together. I've missed a few things with the gold, like the belt buckle and stuff, but we'll get back into that. I'm just going to go in with light grey now and just going to put starts building up some shadow lines where the white shirt is. If you're still hanging around, good on you. I'm probably, I'm going to be a bit quieter, but I might as well finish this off. So if you're sticking by me as I finish colouring this off, thank you. I'm just trying to think about what I can talk about. Oh, that's what I can talk about. Made rumbles tonight. So finally got in and got the rumbles made. So they are done. Doesn't feel quite like Christmas until we've made the rumbles. And I've got, as you know, most of us do, we've got our own recipe for our rumbles. So gotten in and done mine. Where am I going to go? Coal now. So that's all done. They're all made and in the fridge with way too much rum, as you would expect. It's not a rumble. I don't drink, but rumbles have got to have rum. You know, luckily for me, a bottle of rum lasts me about 3 or 4 years making rumbles, so it's not a big thing, but it's certainly going to knock your socks off. And I sort of said tonight, it's more like the kids, it's a bit strong for the kids, so they're like, oh, we don't like them, we don't eat them. It's like, yeah, more for us. Yeah. Like, generally, you know, there's not that much alcohol in an individual rum ball, so it's not that kids can't have it. It's just like, well, no point you actually having it. All right, I'm just going to do the brace. Nothing fancy with this one, just straight black. I might do this black too. I'm just going to go in with the dark grey, just put a bit of shadowing around the drum skin. A little bit of coal in the edges. There's a drum, I'll take over the white. Just even that out. There we go, drum skin. Let's go drumsticks now. Let's go in with a bit of gold. I'll do the belt buckle while I'm here and do drumstick tops. Bit of olive gold. And let's go, where are you, mahogany? A little bit of huntsman. Let's go back with gold. And lastly, a little bit of milk. All right. Okay. Hey, we're still going strong. Let's get into her hair. Let's make her blonde this time. I think we've got some things. We might make her blondie. Let's go in a bit of milk. I don't want to add any extra colours, so that's why I'm just going to go with what we've got. She's going to be a golden blonde. I'm going to go in with gold. Just flick that through. I'm not going to put the olive gold in. I don't want that kind of tone in there. Now in with the mahogany up here at the roots. A little bit of huntsman right up in top. mahogany. Come back with the gold. Oh, there goes pencil. Come back with the gold. And then finally a bit of milk. All right, so let's get on to the skin and then we're done. We actually have managed to do the whole page together. I'm going to go in with that saffron. I'm just going to put that in cheeky cheeks. Might add a little bit of ladybug there. Okay. Let's go in with a bit of milk just everywhere to begin with, just to get a layer of colour down. Let's see, I've got some colour there. Let's see if we can lift that up. I guess it's coming up. Alright, let's go in with some mahogany. Just going around the edges now. I might as well do the hands while I'm at it. A bit of milk. I'm going to go in with a bit of actually, I might go in with a bit of gold. Let's make out these edges. A little bit. But not forget the nose. Bit of murk. So this is the only colour that I've kind of introduced into the set, just to add a little bit of, I guess, pinky skin colour. Hold on, I've gone outside here. Right, back in with milk over the whole lot. And I'm just going to grab a blending pencil. And just soften out these edges a little bit. Just in with these hands, I think I might add just a little bit of Huntsman right in here along the cuff line, just for a bit of, make sure I got a bit of added contrast there. I might just add it in here. Alright, I think the only thing I want to do is just run along the bottom of these little beads with a little bit of black just to give a shadow line. Won't make much of a difference, but I think that just needs that little bit of a thing to make it stand out. Is there anything else? I always come back and I've missed something, but I think that is it. So don't forget to let me know what you think I should do for the background. Which kind of idea or suggestion do you have for that? I do need your help. I can't figure out what to do. But these are my little, I'll bring them all over so we can see them nice and clearly. These are my little Nutcrackers or toy soldiers. Thanks for listening along with me if you have, listening to my stories. I really appreciate it. But I'm all talked out now, so I'm gonna leave it at that. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment, all of those kinds of things. It does make a huge difference. And to all the people that have subscribed and recently, thank you so much. It absolutely just brightens my day, and I'm just amazed and you know, definitely hit in the feels by it. So I do appreciate it. As always, remember, be kind, be strong, and be a warrior. And I will see you later. Bye.